This conference will now be recorded.
In the last class, we discussed about hierarchies and drill down visuals. Today's class is continuation to hierarchies and drill down visuals. In today's class, we'll be discussing about types of hierarchies. We'll discuss about what types of hierarchies.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So one after types of hierarchies. In the drill options, there is something called expand all down one level in the hierarchy. That one we'll discuss. Let's start. Let me open Power BI desktop. There are two types of hierarchies. First, system defined hierarchies. The hierarchies which are created by Power BI automatically, we call it as system defined hierarchies. First, we'll talk about system defined hierarchies. The hierarchies, the hierarchies, hierarchies which are created by Power BI automatically. Just a second, guys. The hierarchies which are created by Power BI automatically, we call as what type of hierarchies? System defined hierarchies. Let me load some tables. I open Power BI. I'll just load some tables. Sample superstore. I'll just load some tables. Select the orders table. Click on load. Fine. When I go to orders table, I loaded it up. So if you look at the orders table here, when I go to order date, below the order date, you are finding something called what here? Date hierarchy. And when I go to ship date, below the ship date also you are finding something called what here? Date hierarchy. So one important point you need to understand is when you load any tables, if the tables have date columns, I have a order date column and ship date column. Orders table have how many date columns means two date columns. What are the date columns? Order date and ship date. They have date data type values. Whenever Power BI find date data type date columns, it will create automatically a hierarchy for order date. It will create what hierarchy here means date hierarchy. It will create another date hierarchy for what? Ship date. Ship date. For each date column, it will create one date hierarchy. Let me write that point. So when the tables have date columns, when the tables have date columns, Power BI automatically create a hierarchy. Power BI automatically create a hierarchy. Create a which hierarchy? Date hierarchy. Date hierarchy, guys. The date hierarchies are the example for what hierarchies? System defined hierarchies. Examples for system defined hierarchies is this date hierarchy. Date hierarchies are the example. Why it is creating? Let me explain. So let's say you have order date column and you have sales column. Just take remember only two columns are there. Order date means on what date order was placed. So and what is the sales amount for that order? What is the sales amount for that order? You have it. I have the orders starting from 2014 year to 2017 year. In the order date, you have the dates starting from which year? 2014. And even this column have dates for which year? 2015, 2016 and 2017. How many years data we have is 4 years data, 4 years. So just you have order date column, and you have sales column. When you have order date column and sales column, from these two columns, what is the first visual client will ask? Remember, only you have two columns. One is order date and second one is what? Sales. With these two columns, what might be the first visual my client will ask us to create? With this
Year
order,
wise.
Order
first
date.
they might first they might want to see the complete sales. So we know that complete sales is 2.3 million. Once they see complete sales, what might be the next information they want to see from the two columns is? What might be the next information they want to see from the two columns is? What might be the next
Profit.
information?
Profit.
So they will expect to see each order date. What is the sales means? No. They will expect to see year-wise sales. What they will expect to see? Year-wise sales. So each year, what is the sales we are getting? They will not expect to see date-wise sales, individual date-wise sales. With these columns, once after understanding total sales, they might want to understand year-wise sales. So first, what you need to do is from the order date, you need to derive what? Year. If you want to show year-wise sales, first you need to derive the year. You have only order date column for now. Using the order date column, you need to derive what here? Year. Right. Once after showing year-wise sales, what they might ask you to show? Once after showing year-wise sales, what they might ask you to show? Huh? Quarter-wise sales.
Quarter
Quarter-wise
wise
sales.
sales.
In the year 2014, Q1 is doing how much sales? In the year 2014, Q2 is doing what is sales? In the year 2014, Q3 is what is the sales? Once after a year, they will ask us to show quarter-wise sales. Quarter. Once after showing quarter-wise sales, you are showing year-wise, quarter-wise sales. Once after showing quarter-wise sales, now again you need to derive what? From order date, you need to derive what? Quarter again.
Month.
Month.
So that you can show year-wise, quarter-wise sales. Once after that, they'll ask us to show month-wise sales. Year-wise,
Yes.
quarter-wise. First, Jan month, what is the sales? Feb month, what is the sales? March month, what is the sales? They might ask us to show. Please be on mute. Again, you need to derive from order date column, you need to derive month. Month. Once after showing year-wise, quarter-wise, month-wise sales, they might ask us in January 1st, how much sales? January 2nd, how much sales? Third, how much sales? Fourth, how much sales? Like this. Lastly, they might ask us to show what sales? Day-wise sales. Again, from the order date, you need to derive the day. Generally, when there is any date column, first client will be expecting to see what? Year-wise sales. Next, they will be expecting what? Year-wise, quarter-wise sales. Then next, year-wise, quarter-wise, month-wise sales. Then finally, day-wise sales. Now tell me, these four columns are dimension columns or fact columns? This year, quarter, month, day, or dimension columns or fact columns?
Dimension
All are
column.
dimension columns.
Dimension
All are
columns.
dimension columns. There is no doubt they are dimension columns. All the dimension columns are related dimension columns or they are not related with each other. Year, quarter, month,
Related only.
day, they are related dimension
Relative.
columns or they are not related. They are
Relative.
related dimension columns. Related dimension. 1 year will contain multiple quarters, 1 quarter will contain multiple months, 1 month contains multiple days. That means they are related dimension columns. When they are related dimension columns, what is the best thing to do with related dimension columns? Create a hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
What is the best thing to do with the hierarchy? Create a drill down visual. Drill down visual. When you create a drill down visual, what is the advantage? You don't need to create dozens of visuals. With less visuals, you can perform the analysis. So that is the reason when there is a date column, a common requirement from the client is show year-wise sales from the date column, show quarter-wise sales, show month-wise sales. So Power BI know already when there is a date column, they will expect to see year-wise, quarter-wise, month-wise sales. So when they expect to see Power BI, instead of generally developer need to derive the year first from the order date. Developer need to derive the quarter next from the order date. Developer need to derive the month from the order date. Finally, developer need to derive the day from the order date. Once after that, he need to use these four columns to create one date hierarchy. Instead of doing all this by Power BI developer, Power BI tool itself is doing automatically when it find a date column. When it find a date column, what Power BI will do here is, look at here. When it find a date column, Power BI will derive the year from the order date first and derive the quarter from the order date. and derive the month from the order date and derive day from the order date, and that using that 4 columns it will create what? Date hierarchy. Wherever it find any date column, even when it finds ship date column, same story again. From the ship date it will derive what? Year. From the ship date it will derive what? Quarter. From the ship date it will derive month, and ship date it will derive day. Using that 4 columns it is creating which hierarchy here? Date hierarchy. Now when my client is asking to show order date year wise sales, I no need to go and derive the year separately. Already Power BI team derived the year from order date. Already Power BI team derived year from where? Order date. When I want to show year wise sales, I can just go and take the visual, and in this visual I'll go to order date. I'll drag which column here? Year. When I drag the year, it will derive the year from order date automatically. Already it was derived here. You are using that year. Year wise what I need? Sales. Year wise sales. Now I am able to show year wise sales here. When the client want to see year wise quarter wise sales, now you are showing 2014 what is the sales. I want to show 2014 Q1 what is the sales, Q2 what is the sales, Q3. When you want to show year wise quarter wise sales, I can take another visual here. In the another visual, from the order date I'll drag what? Year. And next what? Quarter. And year wise quarter wise what I need? Sales. This quarter was already derived by Power BI, and you can use year wise quarter wise sales. 2014 Q1 what is the sales. If you want even month, you can add it. So you can just drag the month here. Now it is showing year wise, quarter wise, what? Month wise sales. Like this, they derived it. Right. So best thing is when you have a hierarchy, order date hierarchy, instead of creating normal visuals, better to create a drill down visual. Better to create what visual here? Drill down visual. How to derive a drill down, how to create a drill down visual is, let me take one column chart. Any, say even line chart you can drill down, column chart you can drill down, pie chart you can drill down. For now I'm using column chart. About the visuals I'll discuss in 1-2 classes, guys. Right. Now I'm taking a column chart. Into the column chart I'll go and drag order date column. When I drag the order date column, you got order date. When I click on down here, what you are getting here? Date hierarchy. When you drag any date column, default you will get hierarchy. Hierarchy means you have how many levels in this hierarchy? Order date hierarchy, how many levels you have? Year, quarter, month, day. 4 levels. You are dragging order date. By default you'll get date hierarchy, order date hierarchy. And order date wise what I need to show? Sales. Go to the format, enable the data labels. We know that when you create a visual with a hierarchy, by default it will show which level data? First level data. In the hierarchy, what is the first level here? Year. It is showing what? Year wise sales. Now totally 2.3 million is the sales. The 2.3 million, most of the sales you are getting from 2017, lease sales you are getting from 2015. Now in this visual I need to see quarter wise sales. How to show quarter wise sales here? In this visual, in order to show quarter wise sales, what we need to click on?
Drill down.
Double down arrow. Go to next level in the hierarchy, double down arrow when click on. Now it is showing quarter wise sales. Tell me, it is telling Q4 we are doing a sales of 0.88 million. This 0.88 million is for which year? We have the business data starting from 14 year to where? 17 year. This Q4 sales is for which year? All the 4 years. All the 4 years Q4 sales. All the 4 years Q4 sales is this. Currently you are showing quarter wise sales for all the data, all the 4 years. Okay. Even when I go and click on double down arrow, you are seeing month wise sales. Month wise sales for which year you are showing now? All 4 years.
4 years.
Let's say my client is asking, I want to see quarter wise sales for only 2016. What I need to do? When I click on double down arrow, it is showing quarter wise sales, but it is showing quarter wise sales for how many years? 4 years. But client is not interested to see all the 4 years now. They're interested to see for which year?
16.
2016. What I need to do for 2016? What I need to do in order to see 2016? When I click on 2016, it is
Go to
not showing. What
filter.
I need to do? You
Filter,
need
I
to
think.
You
turn
need
on
to
the
activate the
drill down. First, you need
Okay.
to click to turn on drill down. Online people, you can please be on mute. Don't unmute. So here you need to turn on the drill down, guys. What you need to do? Turn on the drill down. Once you turn on drill down, it is telling that drill mode is on. Now when I go and click on 2016, it is showing quarter wise sales. It is showing quarter wise sales for which year? 2016, you can go and check it. 2016 is doing totally how much? 0.61. Out of that 0.61, most of the sales you are getting from which quarter? Q4. When you sum all these values, how much you'll get? 0.61 million. Right. So when you click on any quarter now, what it will show? Now you are seeing 2016 quarter wise sales. When you go and click on any quarter here, what it will show? When I click on quarter 4 in 2016 Q4, it will show what data? Month wise sales. Once I click on any month, what it will show? When I click on any month in the year 2016 quarter 4 December month, what it is showing? Day wise sales. You can scroll like this. There are more days till 31. You can see it. Right. I can just do what? Drill up. In this visual, you can see lot of information, guys. Lot of information. Right. We know drill up. We know when to turn on the drill down, and we know when to go to next level. Next option is what? Expand. So let's say when I click on any year, only for that year it is showing quarter wise sales. When I go and click on this double down arrow, for all the years it is showing quarter wise sales. My requirement is I want to show year wise quarter wise sales here. I want to show year wise quarter wise sales. That means all the 4 years, each year 4 quarters I need to show it. I want to show year wise quarter wise sales for how many years? When I go and click on any year, it is showing year wise quarter wise sales for how many years it is showing? Only 1 year. My requirement is I don't want to show for only 1 year year wise quarter wise sales. When I click on 2017, it is showing quarter wise sales for only 2017. Here I need to see all the 4 years quarter wise sales and I need to compare the data. In order to see all the 4 years quarter wise sales, separately I need to see it. When I click on double down arrow, it is showing Q4 sales for all the 4 years here. I don't like to see like this. I like to see 2014 Q1 sales separately, Q2, Q3, Q4, and again 2015 Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and 2016 4 quarters, 2017 4 quarters. Totally how many values I need to show? 16 values. When I click on double down arrow, how many values it is showing? Only 4. When I go and click on any year, how many values it is showing? Only 4. But I want to see 16 values. In order to see year wise, quarter wise sales, both the levels of data, you need to click on which button? Expand all down one level in the hierarchy. Just go here, click on expand all down one level in the hierarchy. Look at here. 2014, it is showing quarter wise sales, 4 quarters. 2015, quarter wise sales. 2016, quarter wise sales, and 2017 quarter wise sales. For some reasons, when the client want to see year wise, all the years and all the quarter wise sales, they need to click on double down arrow. So when I click on one more time, it will show year wise, quarter wise, month wise sales. Now 4 years, 4 quarters, how much it is showing is 16 values you are showing. When I even click on one more time, it will show year wise, quarter wise, month wise sales. How many sales values you will get? Huh? How many sales values you will get? When I click on one more time, it will show year wise, quarter wise, what? Month wise. How many sales values it will show? 16 into 16 into each quarter will contains 4 months. Each quarter will contain how many months? 3 months.
12 months.
So 4 years. 4 into each year contains how many quarters? 4 quarters. Each quarter contains how many months? 3 months. So 4 fours are 16. 16 threes are how much? 48. 48 sales values you can see. When I click on one more time, how many sales values you can see is 48 case. 2014 Q1 each month. What is the sales value? Q2 sales value. Q3 like this. So like this, when you want to see multiple levels of data at a time, you can click on expand all down one level in the hierarchy. When I click on any year, only for that year it will show quarter wise sales. When I click on any quarter in that year, only for that quarter it will show month wise sales. Instead of that, I want to see all the years, all the quarters, all the month sales. You can click on this all the years, all quarters you are seeing. When you click on one more time, year wise, quarter wise, what you will see? Month wise sales. So like this, client, what information they want to see in this visual, based on that he can use this. So drill up means when you are in the second level, if you want to come up to the first level, you are in the second level now. If you want to come up to the first level, you can do drill up. So turn on means when you click on any data point, if you want to see the data point next level data, you can turn on the drill down. Next level means it now if you are in here, if you want to show quarter wise, you can go to next level. Expand all down one level means if you want to see both levels of complete data at a time, you can click on expand all down both levels data, it will show completely here. Right, we understand how these four options will work. Let me explain one point here. When I click on any year, when I click on any year, what it is showing now? Quarter wise sales. When I click on any quarter, what it will show? Month wise sales. When I click on any quarter, it will show month wise sales. Month wise sales. When I click on any month, what it will show? Day wise sales. But a client might ask you, when I click on any month, I need to see week wise sales. Month will contains what? Multiple weeks. Month will contains multiple weeks. So when I click on year, I want to see quarters. When I click on quarter, I want to see what? Months. When I click on month, currently it is showing what? Day. So the client is not interested to see the day. When I click on any month, he need to see what? Weeks. When I click on any week, he need to see what? Day. So previously you have how many levels in the date hierarchy? 4 levels. Now client is expecting to see how many levels? 5 levels. 5 levels. Sometimes the default date hierarchies will have how many levels means only 4 levels. It can show 4 levels data. 4 levels data. Sometimes client will ask us to show 5th level data. Right. Understand here? So before we go with discussing about the 5 levels, so what are the 4 levels means? What? Year, quarter, month, day. So sometimes clients want to see 5 levels data. What is the 5 levels data client want to see? Year, quarter, month and day. Between after month they want to see what? Week of month. In a week, how many? In a month, how many weeks are there? 4 or 5 or sometimes even 6 also will be there. That weeks, when I click on week, they want to see what? Day wise data. Right, before we come here, let's talk about the definition for user defined date hierarchy. So we discussed about system defined data hierarchy. Next one is what? User defined data hierarchy. The hierarchies which are created by the developers, we call it as user defined data hierarchies. The hierarchies created created by developers, we call as user defined data hierarchies. User defined data hierarchies. So yesterday we created some hierarchies. Tell me the examples yesterday what we created. Which one is what? One is product hierarchy. Second hierarchy we created is what? Geography hierarchy. Any hierarchy which was created by the developer, it comes under what? User defined data hierarchies. Right. System defined data hierarchies, only one type of hierarchy system will create is only data hierarchy. Only one type of hierarchy Power BI will create is only what? Data hierarchy. Right. Now we want to understand, when I click on any month, I need to get the week of the month. What Power BI is doing currently is, from the order date column, currently Power BI is deriving the year, quarter, month, day. Using that 4 columns, it is creating one hierarchy, guys. It is creating one hierarchy. Now what they are telling is, I don't want this 4 levels. Instead of 4 levels, they're expecting what? 5 levels. Along with deriving the year, quarter, month, day, from the order date column, you need to derive week of the month also. What you need to derive? Week of month. Week of month. If you look at here, currently we are in the which week of January means first week. Currently we are in which week? Week will start from Sunday, it will end on Saturday. So let's say you have 11th January. 11th January is which week? Second week. So 15 to 21 is which week? Third, fourth, fifth. So I want to derive the week from the given date. And that week we need to add it to this hierarchy. The simple thing is, Power BI will not derive week of the month. Power BI will derive only year, quarter, month and day, and it will create a hierarchy. The best way after month to show week of month is, from the order date derive the week of month column. That week of month column add it to the middle of month and day. So that is the easiest way. But unfortunately, it is not possible to modify system defined hierarchies. Understand? System defined hierarchies cannot be modified by developers. System defined hierarchies cannot be modified, cannot be modified by the developers. So easiest way to get the client requirement, client is telling that they want 5 levels: year, quarter, month, week of the month, and day. The easiest way to get it is Power BI developer will derive week of the month from the order date column, and that week of month we can add it in where after the month, so that you can easily complete it. But unfortunately I cannot go and modify this. Then I need to create a brand new hierarchy. Now what we need to do now, we need to create a new hierarchy. As you are not able to modify this, you need to create a hierarchy with how many levels? You need to create a hierarchy 5 levels. To create a hierarchy with 5 levels, first from order date, first Power BI developer need to derive what? First year, then he need to derive what? Quarter, then he need to derive what? Month, then he need to derive what? Week of month, then lastly we need to derive what? Day. With this 5 columns, what I need to create is a user defined date hierarchy. I need to create user defined data hierarchy. When client is asking to show 5 levels of data, 5 levels of data like this, Power BI developer need to create a user defined data hierarchy. Power BI developer need to create user defined data hierarchy. Yes guys, you need to create a user defined data hierarchy. How to create a user defined data hierarchy here is, first before you go and create a user defined data hierarchy, you need to go and stop the system defined data hierarchy. Why you need to stop the system defined data hierarchy means, if you are not stopping this, it will occupy more space. So what I'll do now is, to derive the year from the order date, quarter, month, week of the month, day, I'll go to Power Query software. I'll derive them easily. Where you will derive them? In the Power Query. How to go to Power Query? Go to Home tab, click on where? Transform data. When I go to Power Query, in the Power Query, using the order date, I can easily derive the 5 columns what we are discussing here. But the best practice is, when you are creating a user defined date hierarchy, when you are creating a user defined date hierarchy, better to stop the system defined date hierarchies. So why better to stop the system defined date hierarchies is, system defined date hierarchy internally will create 4 columns from each date: year, quarter, month, day. When it create 4 additional columns from the data, it will occupy space. Just observe guys, I'll save this report. I'll save it in where? Desktop. And I'll save the report with the name date hierarchy. What is the name we are giving? Date hierarchy. I'll just save this. I saved it in the desktop. Now currently date hierarchy, Power BI created one date hierarchy. You have the date hierarchy, you saved it. Now when I go to the properties, what is the size you will have? 680 KB. So 680 KB is there with the date hierarchy. I'll try to stop the date hierarchy which was created here. So 680 KB, roughly you just have 680 KB guys. With 680 KB with hierarchy, I'll just stop this hierarchies. Whatever the date hierarchies Power BI is creating, I'll stop them. How to stop them? Go to the file menu, options and settings, options. In the options, you can stop them. You can go to current file, you can go to data load, you can go to time intelligence. In the time intelligence, there is something called what? Auto date and time. Automatically create a hierarchy. So you can just stop it. When you stop it, when I press OK, just check the order date column. When I check the order date column here, do you have date hierarchy here? No. So even when you go to the ship date column, previously under ship date column, you see what? Date hierarchy. Now you are not seeing them. Now when I save them, let me go and check the size now. Go and click on properties. What is the size you are seeing? 644. Previously 680. The size is differentiating or not? Why the size is differentiating is, previously from the order date column, Power BI internally will derive what? Year, quarter, month, day. So when it is deriving additional 4 columns internally, they will occupy extra space. With that 4 columns, it will create a hierarchy. So best practice is, there are some times we will not use the default date hierarchies. 99% we will use default date hierarchies only. With how many levels will use it? 4 levels. There are worst case. Your client is not satisfied with the 4 levels. They will expect to see how many levels? 5 levels. That time best practice is you need to stop the date hierarchies. How to bring the date hierarchies again here? Go to where? File menu, options and settings, options. Go to when? Current file, data load. We need to click on what? Time intelligence. When I click on time intelligence, Power BI will create a date hierarchy for every date column. If you want to stop the date hierarchy, same steps again. File menu, options and settings, options. I want to stop it now. Why I'm stopping this is I want to create my own date hierarchy. Let me show you how can I create my own date hierarchy. To create my own date hierarchy, I'll go to Power Query. The easiest way to derive year, quarter, month, week of the month, and day is in which software? Power Query. Go to the order date column. I'm selecting which column now? Order date. From order date, first I need to derive what? Year. To derive the year, I will go to which tab is add column tab. In the add column tab, date, click on what? Year. When I click on year, it derive the year from the order date, guys. Once after deriving the year, what is the next one we need to derive from order date column? Quarter. To derive the quarter, select the order date again, go to add column, go to date. There is something called what here? Quarter of the year. When I click on quarter of the year, you are getting number called 4. Instead of 4, better to write QTR4. Better to write what here? You need to prefix some text for this column. To prefix some text for this column, select the column, go to which tab? Transform tab, go to format. In the format, there is some option called what? Prefix. Understand? So before the 4 number, I need to add QTR, some text. To add the text, where I need to go? Transform, format, add prefix. You'll understand all this in the coming classes. For now, just blindly go with these options. What you need to prefix, guys? QTR and one space. QTR and one space. Just press OK. Now you are getting year, quarter. So once after deriving the year and quarter, from the order date, what is the next column I need to derive? Select the order date, go to add column, go to date. What we need to derive? Name of the month. What we need to derive? Name of the month. We need month names. So now it successfully derived month name column. November comes under Q4 like this. Once you derive year, quarter, month, what is the next one you need to derive? From the order date, week of the month. To derive week of the month, select the add column, select the order date, go to the date, and then what? Week. There is something called what? Week of month. Again, week of the month, it is giving only number. Better to write what? A text called what? Week 2. Better to write a text called what? Week 4, like this. How to prefix a text? Select the week of month column, transform tab, format, add prefix. Which prefix? Week and one space. You added one week. You derived year, quarter, month, week of the month. Lastly, you need to derive what? Day. So from which column you need to derive the day? Order date. Go to add column, go to date, click on what? Day. So like this, you derive the 5 columns. When I go and click on close and apply, that 5 columns will load into PowerPoint. Where that 5 columns will load now? PowerPoint. When I go and check my table, along with these columns, you got extra columns which we derived in the Power Query. You derived these columns in the Power Query, you loaded them to where? PowerPoint. Now my table have extra columns. Now with that columns, I need to create a hierarchy. Tell me how to create a hierarchy. In order to create the hierarchy, which view we need to go? Model view. We need to go to where? Model view. In the model view, what is the first level? What is the first level in this hierarchy? Five levels. What is the first level? Year. Next, quarter, month, week of the
Year.
month, and day. You just go and select which column here? Year. Right click on it, create a hierarchy. So by default, you'll get year column. Below the year column, you'll get what? Year hierarchy. I don't like to have the name as year hierarchy. Right click, rename. I can give it as user defined order date hierarchy. On which column you are creating it? Order date, right? User defined order date hierarchy. You can even give a small name, UD. You just write user defined UD order date hierarchy. So I'm just changing the name, guys. I'm just changing the name. That's it. Now just observe here. For now, how many levels you have in this hierarchy? Only one level. How to add the levels? You need to go to where? Properties. And then you need to go to hierarchy. What is the next one we need to add? Once after year. You derived which column? Quarter. Once after the quarter, what we need to add? Month name. Once after the month name, what we need to add? Huh? Week of month. Once after the week of month, what we need to add? Day. Once after adding all of them, click on what? Apply level changes. When I click on apply level changes, you got a hierarchy with how many levels now? 5 levels. 5 levels. Right? Now you can go and use, if you want, you can stop this aggregated symbol also, guys. So why aggregated symbol are there is, year column contains what type of information? Numeric information. When you have numeric information, Power BI will by default add which symbol means, when you here have a number symbol, number, when you have number data, what it will do is summarization sum it will do. So generally years you no need to sum. In that case, what you can do is select the year column, go to column tools, go to summarization. Instead of sum, you can choose what here? Don't summarize. Don't summarize. Not only for year column, even day column also. As it is having number values, it is doing summarization. What it is doing? Sum. Do you want to sum day values means it is not necessary. Select this. Go and click on what? Do not summarize. Do not summarize. So you can stop it, guys. It's not mandatory. You can stop it. Best practice. Now I can just go and drag what? User defined data hierarchy. I'll go and drag sales. Go to the format. By default, in the user defined data hierarchy, how many levels you have? 5 levels. Even though you have 5 levels, but first it will show which level data? Year wise. First level data it will show. Now when I click on any year, I want to see quarter wise sales. To see that, what you need to do first? Click to turn on the drill down. When I go and click on any year, it is showing what? In that year, quarter wise sales. When I go and click on any quarter, what it will show? In that particular year, in that particular quarter, what is the month wise sales? When I go and click on any month, what it will show now? Week of month. When I go and click on any month, it will show week of the month. When I click on December, December month contains totally how many weeks? In each week, how much sale you are getting, you can see. When I go and click on any week, what you can see now? Day wise sales. In the 2016 Q4 December month, fourth week, each day wise, what is the sales? In that week, which day it is doing more sales and which date it is doing less sales, you can see it here. Like this, you can show 5 levels, guys. We can create a user defined data hierarchies and we can show it. So this is all about the hierarchies. We clearly understand. There are some times where we need to stop the system defined data hierarchies and we need to create our own hierarchies. 99% will use system defined data hierarchies only. So there are sometimes Power BI developer, when they ask their own levels, you need to create a user defined data hierarchy. I shown you how to create it. So far we are done with visual interactions, filters, and then hierarchies. So next topic we are going to discuss about is, once after this, let me open the course content here. We just started Power View. Once after starting the Power View, we discussed about some introduction to Power View here, and then visual interactions, and then filters, and then hierarchies and drill down visuals. Now we need to start with what? Power BI visualizations. So here, most important one, the core purpose of Power View software is, the core purpose of Power View is what? Visuals only. That visuals we will discuss now. Power BI visualizations. So in Power BI, you have a lot of visuals. When I go to report view and I go to the visualization pane, I can see the visuals here. Whatever the visuals we are seeing here, we call them as what visuals? Default visuals. Around how many visuals you will have default visuals means? Around 30. So 32 something you are seeing here. Around 30 default visuals you will have. In Power BI, mostly we will use these 30 visuals in the projects. We'll use how many visuals in the project means? This 30 visuals. But in Power BI, you can not only present the data in these 30 visuals, you can present the data in around 300 visuals. How many visuals? Around 300 different visuals. We can present this table data into the graphical format. Where do we have other visuals means? To see the other visuals, you need to go to where? Get more visuals. When I click on get more visuals, I'll go to a page where I can find dozens of visuals. Where I can find what? Dozens of visuals here. So we can use any visual here. Let's say I want to use one of the visual, so hierarchy slicer visual, or I want to use one of the visual card with states by some visual I need to use it. If you want to use any visual here, you can just go to the visual, click on that visual. Once you click on that visual, you'll find an option called what? Add. When I click on add, that visual will be added below the default visuals. Now all these visuals comes under where? Default visuals. Below the default visuals, you will add this visual. We call this as custom visuals. In Power BI, so what is visualizations? So visuals are visualizations. Visuals or visualizations. Graphical representation of data. These visuals or visualizations are used to graphically represent the data. Visuals or visualizations are used to graphically present the data. Present the data. I have some data here. I want to graphically present this data. Let's say I have year-wise sales. I want to graphically present the year-wise sales. One way you can show it in a table format like this. I can just go and drag a year, and I can just drag sales. I can see year-wise sales in the table format. Instead of table format, we can present in which format? Line chart is there. When I go to line chart, we can present these values in the graphical format. Now you're able to show each year how much sales it is showing. So when you present in the graphical format, it is easy. See, let's say when you have in the table format, tell me which year is doing more sales and which year is doing less sales here. It takes some time to see the values. It takes some time. The same data when I present in the line chart, it doesn't take much time. Which year is doing more sales? 17. Which is doing least sales? 15. I can easily tell. When compare with 14 and 15, 15 is reducing the sales or increasing the sales? Reducing the sales. When compare with 15 and 16, 16 is increasing the sales or reducing the sales? Increasing. Right. So in the same way, subcategory wise sales I want to show. In order to show subcategory wise sales, I can drag the subcategory column. I can drag the sales column here. So now, is it possible to understand here which subcategory is doing more sales? Tell me. Totally 17 subcategories are there. Tell me which subcategory is doing more sales here. It takes time, right, to compare the values. Same data I can present in which format here? Visual format. I can present in the bar chart or column chart, and I can just format it. So now tell me which subcategory is doing more sales now. Within fraction of seconds, you can tell that phones is doing that. So whatever the data we have in the table format here, to present the data in the graphical format, we will use what here? Visuals. So totally in Power BI, we can present present the data in around how many visuals? 300 visuals. So almost 300 visuals are there. Here we are seeing default some 30 visuals. When I go here, you will find a lot of visuals. So all these 300 visuals are categorized into two categories. What are the two categories? Default visuals, which we commonly used in the projects, which we commonly use them. Which we commonly used in the projects. Next type of visuals we call it as what? Custom visuals, which we rarely used in the projects. So important point is, first you'll present tomorrow when you join in the company, companies will provide some data sources, and companies will ask us to show some report, some information in the visuals or reports, guys. Client never tell use this visual, use that visual. Tomorrow client will provide some data. Client will tell us what information they want to see in the visuals. They don't ask us to use line chart, use the column chart, use the pie chart, use map visual. They never tell us. They will simply tell us, show me year-wise sales. Create a visual to show what? Year-wise sales. They will just tell us, show a information called year-wise sales. First, developer need to decide to show the year-wise sales, what is the best visual. For now, I'll write, there is no doubt line chart is the best visual. You guys will understand why line chart is the best visual. Client will next tell you, create a visual to show state-wise sales. Show what? state wise sales. So in order to show state wise sales, the best visual is no doubt a visual called what here? Map visual. There will be lot of visuals. Developer need to decide based on the information client is asking to show. Developer need to go and decide which visual he need to use. What is the best visual here is map visual. Why map visual is the best? Why not other visual? You'll understand in the coming classes. Next visual my client is asking to show is create a visual to show category wise sales. Category wise sales. In order to show category wise sales, there is no doubt best visual is a pie chart. Why pie chart is the best visual? Why not some other visual? Like this, every visual will have some purpose, guys. You cannot blindly go and present the data wherever you want. Let's say when client is asking to show subcategory wise sales, you cannot blindly go and present that in the map visual, or you can present in the funnel chart, or you can present in the waterfall chart. They are not recommended. So when you present in whatever the visuals you want, client will easily know that you don't know Power BI, right? Based on the information we need to show, client will just tell us what information they need to see. So that information you need to show in only specific visuals only. That information cannot be shown in all the visuals. That information need to show in some specific visuals only. We'll understand. So what we understand is every visual will have some purpose. Every visual will serve some functionality, serve some purpose. So based on the information we need to show, we need to go and choose the right visual there. Right visual, right? So mostly when you are presenting the data to your client, you need to use which visuals? Default visuals. Why? Because default visuals will give better performance than custom visuals. What is the problems with the custom visuals is there are sometimes their performance will be very less. Performance will be very less. That is the reason we need to try to avoid it unless and until if your client is not satisfied with the default visual, if your client is asking to show some information in some new visuals, then only you need to go and bring what? Custom visuals, and you need to show it. We'll see. Right, whatever the visuals we have here, we categorize them into different categories, guys. To explain the visuals in a easiest way, I categorize all the visuals into different categories. What are the different categories I categorize them is, I'll just copy paste them and we'll see. So all the visuals whatever we have here in Power BI, we categorize them into different categories. The first category of visuals we'll see is all the visuals whatever we have in Power BI, we categorize them into below categories here. First category of visuals we'll discuss is what? Visuals for filtering the data. So what is this filtering the data? What are the visuals we have? So in Power View, these visuals are important, no doubt in it. So in the coming classes, first category of visuals we'll discuss is visuals for filtering the data. Out of this 30 visuals, few visuals will comes under that category. This slicer visual comes under that category. There are even some other visuals which I am going to discuss under that category. First category I'll discuss about is visuals for filtering the data. Second category we'll discuss about is what? Visuals for visualizing categorical data. What is categorical data? To show the categorical data, what are the visuals we have? We'll discuss. Next category of visuals we'll discuss about is what? Visuals for visualizing trend data or date and time related data. So trend data or date and time related data, time series data, all are same. All are same. What is trend data? What are the visuals we have to present the trend data? We'll discuss. Then we'll discuss about what for visuals for visualizing KPI data. KPI stands for key performance indicator data. What is key performance indicator data? To show key performance indicator data, what visuals we have, we'll discuss. And then we'll discuss about what visuals for visualizing geographical data. In order to show geographical data, what are the visuals we have? We'll discuss. So there are some times where client will ask us to present the data in which format? Structured format. What is structured format? What are the visuals we have for presenting the data in the structured format? We'll discuss. And we will even discuss how to bring the custom visuals, how to use the custom. In special cases, when client is asking to show the data in some new visuals, then you will bring which visuals now? Custom visuals, and you can present the data in the custom visuals. We'll discuss about all these visuals almost 7-8 hours, guys. 7-8 hours of time from now. We'll discuss about these visuals, how to build the visuals effectively, when to use which visuals. We'll discuss for more than a week of time from now. In now we don't have enough time to start this category of visuals. So tomorrow's class will start with first category of visuals called what? Visuals for filtering the data. In this visuals for filtering the data, what is the first visual I will be discussing about is slicer visual. In this category, tomorrow, first visual, we'll talk one of the important visual. The visual name is what? Slicer visual. So we will talk about the slicer visual in tomorrow's class. It comes under which category? Visuals for filtering the data. Right. I'll stop here. We'll go with some questions now.